Oh, that had to show the highlights of the All Star games because that's getting ready to come up here. No, that the All Star starters have been named tonight, Billy. We
Yeah,
know who's playing. Of course, we already know one name that's playing in the All Star game, and that's going to be one Mr. Luka Doncic,
yes, sir.
hometown, some home cooking. I know how excited you are about that.
Yeah, it's always good to see nephew in a big non-meaningful game. Okay. Uh,
So now the reserves haven't been named yet, but we do have the starters, and here they are right here. Of course, Ring James is up there.
yes.
Uh, Kawhi Leonard is going to start on the. This is the Western Conference side too. The Joker is going to start. Luca and then Chef Curry is going to start out there, and then
That's a
over on
nice.
the and then over on the eastern side, you're going to have Kevin Durant, Greek Freak, Joel Embiid. And this is a shocking one for me. Bradley Beal is
My
actually
God.
going, and then Kyrie Irving is going to get the nod. Huh. Funny, interesting. Maybe James Harden will be a what's the name?
A reserve.
Yeah, reserve.
Yeah, he'll definitely be there, but he's going to be a reserve.
So looking at that starting lineup, how you feel about that, Billy?
I think everybody that's there deserves to be there, man. You can make an argument either way. I know we were talking earlier about Luca and and Dame should be there starting with Steph Curry. You can make that argument, man. That's fine, but I mean the players, whether you went with Dame or Luca, I mean they're both gonna make the team. But that's a lot of all star power. That's a lot of star power out there. A lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. I see a lot of points. No defense, but I do see a lot of points going on out there.
So I think they're doing that whole 24 thing. The first person to make the 24 in the quarter, or something like that, like they did
Yeah,
last year for Kobe. Kobe's thing, I think they're doing that again.
yeah,
Apparently that was kind of fun. I can't remember. I think the last quarter was all bets were off or something like that.
yeah.
Something to that extent. I can't remember what the rules were, but it was something to that effect. So
Yeah.
basically, you don't feel like anybody got snubbed or should be on the list.
No, I don't see any snubs. I mean, if anything, I mean, again, Dame, I'll sit
What
nephew
about
down.
What about Donovan Mitchell?
He, it's not that he hasn't had a good season or whatever, man. I just don't. I mean, if you look at who are you gonna put Donovan Mitchell up there in front of? He should
I'm
make the
just
All
saying.
Star game, but I mean,
Let's put this back up here.
who do you start him in front
Um, um, I don't know, but
I
he's
mean, I
having
don't think you have a spot for him.
he's balling. He is balling.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you can't take anything away from it. And it just speaks to the
I can
level of
make it.
talent.
I could wait. I was gonna say I can make a case he's having a better season than Luca too.
Yeah, I mean, you could, man. I mean, and then on top of that, I mean, the
And
way
his
they're
team
playing in the West.
is the number one team in the Western Conference.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can make that argument, man. I mean, if you want to go by records and all that stuff, then yeah, you can make the argument. I
What
mean,
about what about Rudy Gobert? Do you think he should have been the starter? Probably
over
not over
Joker,
Joker,
no,
not over the Joker, not over the
no,
Joker. I
no,
don't think so.
not in the least bit. But he's having a good season, and again, that just again it shows the strength of the Western Conference, man. There are a lot of talented teams that have a lot of talented players, man. Uh, I'll say this real quick, Walt. Maybe people will agree, maybe they won't, but man, I'm starting to see a little bit of parity coming back to the league a little bit, man. There are more than just one or two teams. I mean, they still want to team up and stockpile stuff, but I mean, in the West, you got like three or four teams that are now developing more and more like star power, man. I mean, it's going to be interesting to
No
see.
AD, no AD,
Yeah, yeah, no, he's not out there. Uh,
no AD, no Paul George. I'm guessing these are guys that could be labeled as reserves. So what you got? AD, Paul George, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell.
yep,
Um, maybe Chris Paul could be a reserve.
yep.
John Morant.
Hey,
Uh,
somebody we're missing here, Walt, and the great Charles Barkley spoke about it the other night, man. What's the kid's name from Utah? Jordan Clarkson. They're
no,
saying,
No, he not gonna get in there with
You
that.
don't think he should be an All-Star?
You know who else is missing?
Man,
Zion. Zion is now he could be reserved. He could be that'd be interesting reserve right there.
Yeah, but so are we doing this off of names? I mean, these guys are all playing well, man, but I don't like the way we just dismissed our guy Jordan Clarkson there. I mean, it's not. I understand he's not the popular name, but he's going to run away with Sixth Man of the Year, man. You got to give him something. This is like the best basketball he's played at any point in his career. I mean, Charles lobbied for him over AD, man, to be a reserve in the game. You know, AD's hurt right now, but still.
Yeah, AD probably won't play because he's hurt or whatever. But no, I guess for big man sake wise, you probably go with the Rudy Gobert as the next big man. I don't know any other big man. I mean, Boogie's not having a good season. He could probably go Zion as the next big man.
Yeah. I mean, you can run Zion out there. You could.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know if Devin Booker gets the nod this year. I'm usually up on Devin Booker. I haven't watched too much of him. De'Aaron Fox won't make it this year as a reserve. There are a lot of good. You're right. There are a lot of good players that probably won't get it.
There's a lot of really, really good players out there that are not getting the opportunity.
Now you come over here to the Eastern Conference side, and you got you got Kevin Durant,
yep,
Greek Freak, Joel Embiid, Bradley Beal. We thinking James Harden to be a reserve. Maybe Julius Randle. Maybe it's Julius Randle makes his way to the All-Star game.
Julius Randle should be in the All-Star game. He should be in the All-Star game for sure.
Spicy P, maybe.
Spicy P.
Yeah, maybe Trae Young is a reserve this year. Maybe Jimmy Butler hadn't played all this year. Westbrook's not getting on. He's been hurt this year. Jason Tatum might be a reserve. There's one, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Here's one that I'm interested to see from the Pacers. Sabonis.
Hey, that guy gets slept on a lot. He's a very, very good basketball player.
You know what's funny? When he got traded to the Pacers, I said the OKC is gonna regret trading him. That was probably the best player that they drafted since Durant and them was Sabonis. I told them, I said they're gonna regret giving him up. James Harden will probably be a reserve. Maybe I know I said what's the name of, but it's the Eastern Conference. I'm thinking maybe Steph Curry can get a shot on there with the season he's in.
Yeah.
A name I would like to see is Zach LaVine. I'd like to see Zach LaVine on the as a reserve. Yeah, definitely deserves to be on that team.
I mean, this is, again, it just speaks to the level of talent we have in the league, man. There are going to be quite a few really, really good basketball players who are having some tremendous years who are going to get left off of the All-Star team, man. And it's going to be sad to see, man. But, you know, it's just stockpile, man. There's a lot of talent in this league, man.
Yeah, a lot. So before we end this, real quick, there's a situation that developed with Draymond Green after the game the other night, who was talking about basically saying that the team should be held as just as accountable as players do when it comes to trades. Now, I see a lot of people misconstruing and twisting what he's saying. So from my understanding, this is what I'm saying. This is what I understand he's saying. He basically wants that if the player can't come out and say, I want to be traded, he don't think the organization should be putting out that they're trying to trade a guy. Right. So if a player says I want to be traded and can get fined, then he thinks the organization should get the same punishment. That's what I feel he's trying to say. You know, a lot of people trying to say, well, he's trying to say that players should just be professional and they should. No, I'm like, no, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that they need to be held to the same standard, which is right. Do you agree with what Draymond was saying?
I agree with him 100%, man. And I love that he came out and said it. And more than that, man, I love the tone in which he said it, man. It wasn't one of those politically correct answers. he really showed his disgust in what's going on, man. I think it is BS, man. I mean, look at the things that we've seen around the league. I'm still reminded of that time where our very own Dallas Mavericks traded Harrison Barnes in the middle of a basketball game. That's tacky, man. And I think it's bad. I think the players should have more representation when it comes to that, man. It can't be it's good for the organization to do this, but the players can't have their say in the situation. But you'll get people who will argue, Walt, and they'll say, well, the organization, they're cutting the checks. And that's the way a lot of people look at it. They're cutting the checks so they can do whatever they want to do, man. I just don't think that that's right. I agree with what Draymond Green said 100,000%.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people, the players don't have anything at the organization. No, the organization doesn't have anything about the players because it's the players that feels the arenas. They're coming to see a lot of people don't understand is they're coming to see the players a lot, not just the organization.
Right.
There are people that come to see, I'm a Maverick fan, I'm coming to see Maverick fans, or I'm coming to see the Mavericks because I'm a Maverick fan, but there are people who tell you, I'm coming to see Luka play tonight. I came to see Luka and Porzingis, or I came to see James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant right now. I came to see LeBron. And matter of fact, when they sell ticket packages, they actually sell it by players. Most organizations,
right.
Like you buy a LeBron James package, or you buy a Kobe Bryant, or it used to be whatever. You buy that package,
right?
That. So, and like I think I was having a conversation. I was like, it goes hand in hand. They both need each other. So that's what he's saying. It needs to be equal. If we need each other, so it needs to be an equal playing field.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%, man. I just think we're at a time, man, when it comes to the NBA or just sports in general, man. The organizations sometimes they step on the toes of the players, man. They feel like they can go out and say things, and no, I don't think it's fair to go out and be able to shop a guy and drop dimes, and you know how it is, especially when they get ready to release a player or they don't want to sign a player. You start leaking stories and all the different type of stuff. I just don't think that type of thing is right. It's really Bush League, man, if you ask me. But
right, and he basically saying if a player come out and do all that, then it's a problem. He's
a bad player.
Yeah, he's a bad player. He's a cancer in the locker room.
Yep. And that's exactly how they play it. And they've been doing this for a very long time now. It's very unfortunate, but Draymond, I'm glad that he brought attention to it, man, because it's really trash to me, man. I don't like that idea at all.
Here's what I hate what people do. Well, he's making $1 million. Respect doesn't have a price tag on it.
No, not at all.
So just because I make $1 million, that doesn't mean
you can disrespect me.
You can disrespect me. Now, $1 million means I'm not going to let you disrespect me any kind of way. It's what it does mean. I hate when people say that. Well, these guys get paid $1 million. They should just shut up and take it. No. Okay. You get paid pennies, and I'm not pennies. You don't get paid as much, and you still complain.
Right.
At your job.
Yep.
So the next time somebody is complaining about, they're at their job and they don't get their raise and they quit their job, I'm gonna tell them what you quit for. What you quit for? You're getting paid to do a job. They paid you to come in. Yeah. Do your job and shut up. You're paid to do it. That's what they're paying you to do, right? What's the difference in you getting paid to do it and them get paid because they're under contract? Okay, but in the middle of my contract, if you can trade me in the middle of my contract, I should be able to say I don't want to be a part. I should be able to say I want to leave in the middle of my contract.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. It goes hand in hand. I don't understand what people have an issue. I think this is just my thing, man. I think guys really, really have a big deal with Draymond Green because he is Draymond Green. They don't want to hear from him. And had this been someone else,
they do it with all players. They feel like because they make $1 million, like a lot, like Draymond said, you don't understand. Like he said, when Kyrie says my mental is messed up, like y'all don't understand, like that messes with a player's mind. Like you think just because we get paid $1 million to play a sport, like we shouldn't, like that's it. Like you don't think that messes with us like that? That don't mess with our psyche. Like that's why I'm an advocate for the players. I'm not for organizations. I'm gonna always side with the players because it's them. There is no NBA without the players.
True. I mean,
if they lock out tomorrow, the owners ain't gonna suit up and get on the court and play basketball. The owners ain't gonna get out there and fill seats.
And it's nothing but facts to that. I mean, it's the truth.
So this whole notion that they should just take it. Okay, well I tell you what, right? Won't you put Joker and Porzingis out there every night and see how many people rush to come fill the stands up.
Right. They're not coming.
Yeah.
They're not coming.
Won't you put Luka and Joker out there every night and see how many people come watch them play? Do it. And that was my main thing with players need to shut up and dribble. Okay. For the players that don't want to shut up, which is mainly black players, for all the black players that want to shut up, let all the white players go out there and play basketball. See how many ESPN want to put you on TV.
Yeah. But they don't want to have that conversation.
They don't.
No,
but another thing that I want to talk about also, it's been some discrepancy of the players about the vaccine. Remember, I was pushing for the players to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
There are players, they're saying that they're not. There are a lot of players, and I said give it to the players that want it. Don't force them to take it. Just get a tally, get a head count of players that want to get it, and give it to them. But now they're trying to push it where they want the players to sell this and sell that. And I said, I don't think the NBA players are in the business of doing the NBA a favor right now, because the NBA has backdoored them so much this season. Like there shouldn't be an All-Star game, and there is.
Right. And it's all a money thing.
Right. So I don't. There are going to be some players that get the vaccine, but I think they're trying to get like the main people like LeBron and them, and they like, hold on, we don't know about all that.
Yeah. Don't force that on us either. Do not force that on us.
Well, we might have would have did it for you, but you told us it wasn't going to be an All-Star game, and now you got to play an All-Star game. So I'm not doing you any favors.
Yeah, I don't trust what you're telling me anymore. Exactly.
That's the way I look at it. I think if things would have went smoother with this whole All-Star game, I think they might have did it. They got a sour taste in it. And a lot of people started to lose faith with Adam Silver.
Yeah. They're starting to not go in his favor. And Adam Silver, I think, is a good NBA commissioner. Man, I think he's done a tremendous job since he's been in that role. But yeah, man, when you start telling people it's going to be one thing and then you switch it up and it's something entirely different, that's just in any walk of life, man. People are going to stop believing in what you're talking about. And I think a lot of the NBA players are starting to see that, man. He's starting to feel it a little bit in that commissioner's office.
Yeah, he is. He is a little bit. But yeah, man. Thank you for joining me tonight with doing this broadcast, man. That was a little different tonight. But of course, we'll be back in the studio next week. And when we do, pretty much we'll be doing mass post games. That was nice. We'll have those phone lines open, ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir. I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited. And let me just drop this on the people real quick, man. Just want everybody to, try to remain as positive as you can. Walt, this has been a very challenging time for a lot of people, man. I know people in my personal life who have been going through it, man. I mean, from power outages to, being cold, no food, not being able to get food, just all different types of stuff, man. So just want to encourage everybody. We're almost at the end of this thing. It seems like we are at the end of it. So guys, just remain as positive as you can and stay the course, man. Good things are ahead. Good things are ahead.
We just need the snow to melt. That's all it is at this point. Everything that's out there now is going to freeze over again, which makes road just a little treacherous. But yeah, man. So actually, we'll be broadcast again Monday night after the Memphis Dallas game, and pretty much all next week, all our broadcasts are going to be straight Mavericks post games.
Yep, basically,
pretty much all next week. It's pretty much just mass for us next week.
Yep, I'm excited for it, man.
I mean, first half of the show the second hour of the show will be mass post game, and first hour we'll get some stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man. So we'll see everybody back here Monday night, and like we always say, always do what's best for business. And if we don't see you around, and we'll see you around.